Those of you that don't know me, I'm Dave Kingsbury. We go through things in life, and we learn life lessons, and we experience those, and that way you gain the true knowledge. If you're only told about a story, let's say somebody went on a beautiful trip, and say they went to Hawaii and they came back and they were explaining to you their trip. You know, you'd hear them talk about their trip, and you'd see the pictures, and it's, oh yeah, that's really nice, you know, it looks like you had a great time. You never really know how it feels until you do it yourself and you live it. And I think when the trials and tribulations come into our life, we see them as a heavy stumbling block, but they don't have to be. You can view them as a learning experience. Once you get through something, it doesn't seem as bad as when you were actually going through it. But if your mind's in the right place and you listen to that innate intelligence inside you, and that gut feeling that you have that directs you, you know, those little flags that go off in your head, that's your innate intelligence or your inner conscience working with you to guide you through your life. And as you all know, you know, that's how you reap the rewards of the good and the bad decisions. The kids today at 19 are a lot more grown up than we were at 19. They've got so much more to worry about and think about. All kinds of things to think about, but nothing to really worry about. Do I feel old? No, I don't feel old. I feel older than I did when I was 20. I remember when I was a kid looking up at my parents, I was probably 15 and they were, what, 30, 31, and I thought they were old. See, in your 20s, you're starting to come into yourself, and you're starting to figure out who you are and maybe hopefully what you want out of life, and you start working towards those goals. Your life carries you down that certain path, and you make choices along the way, and you learn things, you get smarter, and ultimately get wiser. Each of us has an instinct to learn, grow, and evolve, and everything we experience is teaching us something about ourselves. And the life lessons that we miss, we get to repeat them over and over again until we learn from them. But the more we learn, the better we live. And the more we evolve, the greater the happiness and peace we experience in our lives. Once you get into your mid-20s, we start to wonder what our potential is, and we start to think about what we want to realize in our future. When you get into your 30s, the things that were important to you when you're 20, a lot of them don't matter anymore, because you've been through them and you know what to expect, and you've learned who you are more, and you've got a clearer outlook on life, and you can see the bigger picture, and you've gained confidence in a lot of areas that you've experienced trials in, and that kind of tends to lead your way down a certain path that you want to follow. Once I hit my 40s, hardly anything that bothered me at 20 bothered me anymore, and a lot of stuff my viewpoints that I had in the 30s affected my viewpoints now. And I think as you get older, it's more important to have your loved ones around you and be close to your family, and because honestly, when you get into your 40s, a lot more people start passing away. A lot of people you grew up with or knew in your TV celebrities that you grew up with. So when you hit your 40s, all that media that raised you is on the way out, and that, you know, that's our inevitable destination, is to pass on and go to a better place. At different age levels in your life, you come to different points of realization. A lot of people start young, but a lot start in their mid-30s or so, and they notice life starting to creep up to them, and they look back and say, wow, where have I been and where am I going? You start to take a deeper look at yourself. Even if you're doing good, you still take a look back and think you could be doing better. And you could be. If you had the knowledge 20 years ago that you have now, you'd be far more advanced than you are. That's hindsight's 20/20. Once you get into your 40s, you start to gain more self-awareness, and you look for a deeper purpose in life. You realize that you've lived half your life already, and you know where's it been and where's it going. And you got to keep that glass half full philosophy you just start realizing things different. You get more self-aware of that innate intelligence inside you, and you start to listen to it more. It kind of takes the load off things, and it brightens your day, because it gives you confidence that you're on a set path, and although passing on is inevitable, it's not the end. It's only the beginning. I think our life here on earth is our birthing pains. It's our learning experience. So the more you learn, the more you evolve, and the more you experience, the wiser you get, and the more your spirit evolves. And once you hit that point of self-realization, your whole life shifts. It's like the world rises up to meet you. The doors open for you, and you're more focused on the big picture. And the divine enters your life in what seems like mysterious ways, and the joy fills your heart. And that brings about a higher self-awareness to the love around you and the love inside you. You're not so worried about the every day-to-day things. Then you're looking outside yourself more, so you're not worried about you don't look the part, you don't look young anymore, but you can still be young. Just the wiser. There's some pretty smart kids out there. Kids today are a lot smarter and wiser than we were at 19. It's a great thing to see that the kids are more evolved than we were at that age, but it's kind of sad to look at too, because the reason they are more evolved than we were is because they've experienced so much more than we have. They've gone through a lot more. I can't even begin to explain what the kids go through today, but I know it's not fun like it was when we were kids. I don't think kids have as bright of an outlook on the future as we did. I mean, all they see is doom and gloom in the news. What are you going to think your future is? So I'm glad I'm the age I am, and I'm glad I can relate to the younger crowd of my generation. Well, did I tell you I was 45? But I don't feel 45. I still feel 30. I don't know. It's almost hard to think back and remember some stuff, because even the bad times are hard to remember, because they don't matter. If they didn't matter then, we would have got through them a lot easier, because they really don't matter. You're going to come out the other side. No matter what's going on in your life, it's going to resolve. It came to pass, and it's going to pass. Whether we tear ourselves up and worry about it or not, it's still going to pass. And we'll get through it, and we'll learn from it, and we'll move on, and we'll be much wiser for it. But it helps us enjoy the good times more too. If we didn't have any bad, then we wouldn't have anything to compare the good days to. Although I like the good days better, but so don't try to grow up too fast. Just enjoy life, and don't worry about stuff. Just let it happen, man. And the next day is going to be a new day. Make the next day a new day. You decide what the day is going to be like and how life's going to affect you, and keep your attitude positive, and you'll get through just fine.